Attack humans at your own risk. An alien commander's dire warning. The warning came quietly, almost lost among the usual reports. Commander Zarun sat in the bridge of his flagship, staring at the glowing holographic map of nearby star systems. His fingers traced the lines of territory the alien coalition controlled, lines drawn by conquest and fear. Dozens of species had fallen, many crushed in days. Yet Zarun felt a chill he could not explain. Humans were different, and he knew it. On Earth, thousands of light years away, humans were living their normal lives. John Carter, a fleet officer, walked through the control room of Earth's command center. Screens flickered with signals from the edge of the solar system. John was tall, strong, and always focused. He had a calm way of seeing things that others missed. Beside him, Lisa Morgan, a communications officer, typed rapidly, trying to decipher strange alien signals. "These signals don't make sense," Lisa said. "They are repeating, but in a pattern we haven't seen before." John leaned over, his eyes narrowing. "It looks like a warning, but they are not coming from any known system. Someone is sending it from outside." The humans did not know it yet, but the aliens were watching them, plotting. Commander Zarun had sent messages to the Coalition Council, warning them about the humans. He said humans were clever, unpredictable, and dangerous when cornered. Most alien leaders ignored him. They laughed and called him cautious, weak, afraid of a species that had no history of space war. "Humans are weak," one counselor said, his voice sharp. "They are small, divided, and slow. They will break as soon as we attack." Zarun's tentacles clenched around the edge of the console. He wanted to scream to make them see, but he knew they would not listen. The coalition leaders were arrogant, greedy for conquest, and blind to anything that challenged their pride. On Earth, John and Lisa were making plans. The signals hinted at something moving close to the solar system, something large and dangerous. Earth had some defenses, but they were mostly for emergencies, not full-scale war. The humans did not panic. They studied, calculated, and prepared quietly. "We need to alert the fleets," John said, "but quietly. If we act too soon, it may cause panic." Lisa nodded. "I will run a full analysis. Maybe we can understand what they want before they reach us." Back in space, the alien coalition fleets gathered. Massive ships glided silently in formation, each one bristling with weapons and shields. The coalition believed this would be an easy war. Humans were small, primitive, and untested. Yet Zarun could not shake the feeling that something was wrong. He watched the fleet reports with a growing sense of dread. Human colonies on the outer planets were small, weak, and scattered, yet they had communication, coordination, and courage. The first strike began on a mining station on Mars' orbit. The humans had evacuated most civilians, but the aliens did not know that. Massive beams of energy cut through the station's defenses, and explosions lit up space. John and Lisa were on the command bridge of a nearby fleet cruiser, watching. "They think this will scare us," John said. His voice was calm, but his eyes burned with focus. "They are wrong." He gave orders. Small human ships moved in precise patterns. Some drew the aliens closer to hidden positions. Others fired small, but accurate, attacks that damaged the alien shields. Explosions rocked the alien flagship. Commander Zarun saw the reports and felt a cold fear he had never felt before. Humans were fighting back, not like other species, but smarter, faster, and braver. On the surface of Mars, human engineers led by Alex Turner worked to repair damaged defense turrets. Alex was young, with a mind for machines. He moved quickly, giving instructions to his team. "Reroute power to the front shields. We need to hold them long enough for the fleet to counterattack." Even civilians were helping. Claire Evans, a logistics coordinator, directed evacuations while transmitting intelligence about alien movements. She had no weapon, but her work saved hundreds of lives. Humans were using every advantage they had, and yet it was not enough to fully stop the aliens. The cost was high, but their spirit did not break. Zaroon could not understand it. Other species would have surrendered or fled. Humans adapted. They learned from every attack, improved their tactics, and never gave up. Even small defeats did not discourage them. The aliens grew frustrated and angry. Their confidence, once absolute, began to falter. In the human command center, John and Lisa were calm but tense. The battle was only beginning. "They are testing us," John said. "They think this is a simple strike. They don't know we are ready to fight in ways they cannot predict." Lisa looked at the screens, tracking alien movements. "We need to keep them guessing. Confusion will give us time." She pressed buttons and sent false signals across the fleet network. Alien sensors picked up movements that did not exist. Ships reported attacks that were not real. The aliens became disoriented. Zaroon sent another warning to the Coalition Council. This time he was clear. "Humans are not weak. They fight as one, and they learn faster than any species I have seen. Underestimate them and we will lose." The council ignored him. They argued, called him paranoid, and said humans were just lucky. Zaroon felt frustration and fear building. He was responsible for the fleet, but he could not force them to listen. He decided to prepare his ships quietly, strengthening defenses and studying human tactics. He knew the first strike would fail, and he feared the next one even more. Human pilots were flying smaller ships, dodging massive alien beams. Ryan Brooks led a squadron, weaving through asteroid fields to attack the enemy's weaker points. Each pilot moved with precision, not recklessly but with courage. They knew the aliens were stronger, but they also knew humans had one advantage: determination. "Keep moving, don't stop," Ryan said over the comms. "They expect us to flee. We will show them humans never run when we are cornered." Emily Wright, another human officer, worked in communications and intelligence. She intercepted alien signals and fed information to the fleet. Humans were fighting smart. They were small, but every move was calculated. The aliens had firepower, but humans had creativity and unity. The first contact lasted hours. Humans suffered losses, but the alien fleet suffered more than expected. Commander Zaroon watched every report, his fear growing. Humans were not just surviving. They were making the aliens question their plan, their strength, and their pride. On Earth, John and Lisa continued coordinating. Civilians were moved to safe zones, engineers repaired damaged ships, and pilots trained for the next encounter. Even though the humans were outmatched in size and firepower, their determination kept them alive. "We will win," John said quietly, though he knew it would be difficult. "Not because we are stronger, but because we never give up. Humans always fight." Zaroon stared at the map again. He could see the human colonies, the fleet positions, and the human strategies. He realized this species was unlike any other. They did not act from fear, hunger, or greed. They acted from courage, love, and survival, and they learned from every mistake. The Alien Council would not listen, but Zaroon would remember this. Humans were dangerous, not because they had the biggest weapons, but because they refused to be broken. The war had only begun, and already humans were proving that attack humans at your own risk was not just a warning, it was a truth. As night fell on Earth, John and Lisa looked out at the stars. They did not know how close the aliens were or how strong the next attack would be. But they knew one thing: humans would fight. They would protect their home, their people, and each other. And for the first time in the galaxy, an alien commander feared what humanity could do. The alien fleet moved closer to the outer planets. They expected little resistance. Their leaders laughed at the humans, calling them primitive and slow. Commander Zaroon, however, watched the reports with growing unease. The humans were different. They adapted. They learned. And they fought with a determination no other species had shown. John Carter and Lisa Morgan were already in the control room of the main human fleet base near Jupiter. They studied alien movements. The sensors showed massive ships, heavily armed, moving in formation. John leaned forward. They think we will panic. We won't. We will make them pay for every step they take. Lisa typed rapidly, decoding alien signals. They are using patterns we've never seen, but I think I can predict the next few moves if we combine the data with past encounters. The humans did not have the strength to fight the aliens head-on. Their ships were smaller, less armed, and far fewer in number, but they had skill, strategy, and coordination. John and Lisa worked with their team to create traps, ambush points, and false signals to confuse the enemy. "We need to split them," John said. "Their fleet is strong in formation. If we can pull parts of it away, we can take them out slowly." Ryan Brooks, a young pilot, led a squadron of small attack ships. He looked at the holographic map. "We lure them into the asteroid belt," he said. "Their large ships will have trouble maneuvering. We can hit their weak points." Alex Turner, the engineer, adjusted the weapon systems on the human cruisers. "We can use mining drones as explosives," he said. "They will look like harmless asteroids, but they will hit the alien hulls hard." The plan was risky, but humans had no choice. The aliens were too powerful to face directly. The humans relied on strategy, intelligence, and courage. John and Lisa watched as the ships moved into position. The silence of space was heavy, broken only by the occasional beep of the sensors. The first strike began. Alien ships fired massive energy beams at the human cruisers. Explosions shook the fleet. Ryan and his squadron dodged rapidly, weaving through asteroid fields. They fired missiles that hit the aliens' shields, causing small but important damage. Human ships were fast, small, and hard to target. Emily Wright in communications sent false signals to the alien sensors. They picked up movements that were not real, making the aliens aim at empty space. The confusion worked. Alien beams struck harmless asteroids or missed completely. Commander Zaroon watched the results, his fear growing. Humans were fighting in ways the aliens could not predict. On a small human ship, pilot Claire Evans maneuvered carefully. She was not a soldier but a skilled pilot. She guided civilians to safety while providing intelligence to the fleet. Her calm voice over the comms kept the fleet coordinated. "Keep moving, do not stop," she said. "Every ship matters. Every life matters." The aliens were frustrated. They expected easy victories. Instead, their ships were hit by small, accurate attacks. Their formation was disrupted by clever traps. Alien commanders argued over strategy, blaming each other for failures. Zaroon tried to warn them again, saying humans were learning and adapting faster than expected. They ignored him. As the battle continued, human ingenuity shone. Engineers turned abandoned stations into weapon platforms. Drones were modified to explode on impact. Small attack ships darted in and out of cover, hitting weak points. The aliens began to lose ships faster than they could replace them. John and Lisa coordinated with every fleet group. Civilians were evacuated, ships repaired, and pilots trained for new tactics. The humans were small in number but strong in spirit. Each loss was felt deeply, but each victory was celebrated. Morale remained high. Ryan Brooks led a daring attack on an alien supply ship. His small squadron approached from behind, firing missiles at critical points. The alien ship exploded, causing a chain reaction that damaged two more ships nearby. The humans cheered over the comms. "That's how we fight," Ryan said calmly, though his hands were shaking from adrenaline. On the alien side, commanders began to panic. Their arrogance had failed. Zaroon realized that humans were not weak. They fought for each other, for their homes, and for survival. Their losses made them stronger, not weaker. He could see now that the Council's dismissal of humans was a grave mistake. As night fell over the inner solar system, humans regrouped. John Carter looked at the fleet, exhausted but determined. "They will come again," he said, "but we are ready. Every move they make we will counter. Every attack we will survive. They underestimated humans, and that is their mistake. Lisa nodded, looking at the signals. They are learning to predict us. We need to stay one step ahead. We need to make them guess, hesitate, and fail. The aliens, frustrated and confused, withdrew temporarily to reassess. Zarun sent reports to the council, urging them to reconsider. Humans were too strong, too clever, and too united to be treated as simple prey. Once again, his warnings were ignored. The council decided to push forward, confident that humans would eventually break. Humans did not rest. Engineers repaired damaged ships, built new defenses, and improved weapons. Pilots trained for more attacks, learning from every encounter. Civilians were taught to follow emergency protocols, and everyone worked together. Even small victories were celebrated, giving the people hope. Ryan Brooks flew again, leading another strike. This time, the target was a communication relay in orbit around Saturn. The relay was heavily guarded. Human ships used asteroids as cover, approaching from angles the aliens did not expect. Missiles and lasers struck with precision. The relay was destroyed, cutting off alien coordination temporarily. On the flagship of the alien fleet, Zarun watched the attack unfold. He felt fear and respect for the humans. They were not only brave but intelligent, creative, and united. Every small victory showed their resilience. If the council did not listen, the consequences would be terrible for the coalition. John and Lisa watched the results of the strike. "They will come back stronger," John said, "but we will be ready. Every move, every plan, every decision counts. Humans fight not because they are perfect, but because they never give up." Emily Wright monitored the alien communications. "They are panicking. They cannot predict us. Even their best commanders do not know what we will do next. We have the advantage of thought and courage." Claire Evans guided more civilians to safety. "We have to protect them," she said. "Their lives are part of why we fight. Every person counts. Every action counts." As the battle ended, humans had lost ships, but the aliens had lost more. The coalition commanders were angry, frustrated, and confused. Zarun tried once more to warn them. Humans are not weak. They adapt, they learn, they fight together. But once again the council ignored him, calling humans lucky and slow. John Carter looked at the stars, exhausted but determined. "This is only the beginning," he said. "They will come again. But every attack will make us stronger, smarter, and braver. They underestimated humans, and that is their mistake." Zarun, alone on his flagship, stared at the human positions. He realized that the humans were not just fighters. They were survivors, learners, and united by courage. This war would not be simple. It would not be fast. And if the council continued to ignore his warnings, the aliens would face a defeat unlike any other in the galaxy. The humans rested briefly, repaired what they could, and planned for the next encounter. The first full-scale attack had shown them the alien strength, but it also revealed their weaknesses. Humans learned from the fight. They would be ready next time. They would fight smarter, harder, and together. And the aliens, who had laughed at them at first, would come to fear what humanity could do. The humans had survived the first full-scale attack, but the war was far from over. Their small fleet moved quickly through the asteroid fields beyond Jupiter, using the terrain to hide from the alien sensors. John Carter and Lisa Morgan worked tirelessly, coordinating attacks, repairs, and defenses. They knew the aliens would return with larger forces. Preparation was the only way to survive. "They are regrouping," Lisa said, pointing at the holographic map. "More ships are coming from outside the belt. If we stay here, they will find us." John nodded. "Then we move again. We don't let them pin us down. Humans fight best when we are flexible." Ryan Brooks led a squadron of human fighters through the asteroid field. Each pilot knew the risks. The aliens had massive weapons, and one mistake could mean destruction. Yet the humans did not hesitate. They used the asteroids for cover, attacking from angles the aliens could not anticipate. Alex Turner and his engineers worked on modifying old mining drones. These drones were now explosives, programmed to float silently until an alien ship passed near. Then they would detonate, causing damage far greater than the humans could deliver with normal weapons. "They think this is just a small fleet," Alex said. "They don't know what we can do with our tools, our brains, and our courage." The aliens returned with a larger fleet. Massive ships moved like a dark cloud through space. Commander Zaroon watched with concern. Reports showed that humans were no longer just defending. They were attacking, learning, and setting traps. He warned the Council again, but they dismissed him. They believed their numbers and weapons would be enough. Zaroon knew otherwise. Humans were changing the battlefield itself. Claire Evans guided evacuation ships carrying civilians. She moved calmly through the chaos, coordinating routes and relaying information to John and Lisa. "Every person counts," she said over the comms. "We protect them and they protect us. We fight for them too." Human ships struck small groups of alien vessels with precise attacks. They used asteroids to hide, drones as bombs, and speed to confuse the enemy. Even when a ship was damaged, pilots found ways to escape or fight from a disadvantage. The aliens, who expected surrender and fear, were met with clever tactics and determination. Emily Wright intercepted alien communications. She discovered that the aliens were confused and frustrated. They argued about strategy and blamed each other for losses. Their confidence began to crumble. "They are panicking," Emily said to John. "Their formation is breaking. If we push carefully, we can force them apart." John gave orders. "We divide them. We hit their weak points. They are strong, but they cannot fight as one when we force mistakes. Stay calm, stay smart, and we survive." The humans used small, daring attacks to pull alien ships away from the main group. Ryan Brooks' squadron led the strikes, darting in and out of cover. Missiles hit weak shields, lasers cut through gaps, and drones exploded at the right moment. The aliens could not keep up with the unpredictable tactics. On one human cruiser, Alex Turner adjusted weapon systems while monitoring the alien fleet. "They don't know we can turn every asteroid into a weapon," he said. "Every corner, every station, every tool can be used against them. They expected us to be weak. They were wrong." The aliens grew desperate. Commander Zaroon watched every movement, knowing that humans were learning faster than any other species he had faced. He tried to convince the Council once more. "Humans adapt. They learn from every attack. They fight together. Ignore them at your peril." The Council ignored him again. They believed strength alone would win. Zaroon shook his head, his fear growing. Humans were clever, brave, and united. Their small victories were changing the battle. He could see it clearly. The humans had no large fleets, no massive weapons, yet they were winning battles by strategy, courage, and creativity. John Carter led a group of human ships to cut off a smaller alien fleet trying to retreat. The humans used the asteroid field to surround them. "They think they can escape," John said. "We will show them humans never run when we are cornered." Ryan Brooks and his squadron fired missiles, striking alien ships that tried to flee. The explosions lit up the dark space, a sign that humans were gaining the upper hand. The aliens were forced to retreat further, confused and angry. Commander Zaroon recorded every movement. He realized the humans were changing the battlefield itself, using knowledge, terrain, and timing in ways the aliens could not predict. On another human ship, Claire Evans guided more civilians. She stayed calm even when explosions shook the hull. "Stay focused," she said. "We are part of the fight too. Every life matters." The humans repaired damaged ships quickly. Engineers worked day and night, sometimes risking life to save another. Even small ships were repaired and returned to battle. The aliens expected humans to slow down, to falter, but the humans never stopped. Each attack made them stronger, smarter, and more prepared. Emily Wright tracked alien communication patterns. She discovered weaknesses in coordination. The aliens relied too much on centralized commands. The humans used this to their advantage, attacking isolated groups, destroying supply ships, and confusing the larger fleet. Every move taught them more about alien tactics. Zaroon felt fear and respect growing at the same time. Humans were not just defending, they were shaping the fight. They were creating traps, using the terrain, and attacking when least expected. They were unpredictable, clever, and united. He warned the Council again, but they ignored him. Humans were not just a threat, they were a lesson the aliens had refused to learn. John Carter and Lisa Morgan planned the next move. "We have to keep them guessing," John said. "They cannot predict our attacks, our movements, or our strategy. We survive because we think, adapt, and fight together." Lisa nodded. "We turn every asteroid into a shield, every drone into a weapon, every station into a trap. They will learn fear." The humans launched another attack. Small ships darted between asteroids, striking alien supply lines and weak points. Missiles and lasers caused chaos in the alien ranks. The aliens could not regroup. Commander Zaroon watched reports in disbelief. Humans had learned how to make every disadvantage into an advantage. Every small loss was turned into a bigger gain. Ryan Brooks led a daring strike against an alien cruiser. His squadron flew at extreme speed, dodging massive weapons. They hit the cruiser with missiles, damaging its engines and weapons. The alien ship exploded, forcing nearby ships to retreat. The humans cheered over the comms. "We did it," Ryan said calmly, though his hands shook from excitement and fear. Zaroon knew the aliens had made a mistake. Humans were dangerous not because of strength, but because of their mind, courage, and unity. The Council would not listen, but he knew the truth. Humans were changing the battlefield, and the aliens were losing control. John Carter looked at the fleet. Pilots, engineers, and civilians worked together. Every person played a role. "This is what humans do," he said. "We fight, we adapt, we survive. We never give up, and we never stop learning." The aliens, frustrated and confused, pulled back to regroup. Zaroon warned them again. Humans were learning faster than any species he had seen. Their strategy, creativity, and unity made them dangerous. Ignore them, and the coalition would pay a terrible price. Humans rested briefly, repaired ships, and prepared for the next battle. Engineers worked on new weapons, pilots trained, and civilians helped with intelligence. Every person had a role. Every action mattered. Humans had no massive fleets, no endless weapons, yet they were changing the war by their skill, courage, and determination. Claire Evans guided more civilians to safety. "Every life counts," she said. "We fight for them, and they give us reason to keep fighting." Emily Wright monitored alien signals. "They do not understand us," she said. "Every plan they make is met with something new. They are learning the wrong lesson." John Carter nodded. "Humans fight for survival, for each other, and for home. That makes us dangerous. We survive because we never stop, never surrender, and never forget who we are fighting for." Commander Zaroon watched quietly on his flagship. Humans were not just surviving, they were changing how the aliens could fight. They were using intelligence, creativity, and courage to shape the battlefield itself. The Council would not listen, but he knew that humans were not just another species to conquer. They were a force unlike anything the galaxy had seen. The humans were tired but determined. They had survived, adapted, and struck back. The aliens were confused, frustrated, and afraid. The humans had turned the battle in their favor, showing that courage, strategy, and unity were stronger than fear, numbers, or brute force. Zaroon realized the truth. Humans were dangerous not because of their weapons, but because they refused to be broken. They would fight, adapt, and survive no matter the odds. The aliens had underestimated them, and that mistake would echo across the stars. The aliens were angry and frustrated. Their fleets had been slowed, damaged, and confused by humans again and again. Commander Zarun knew the humans were stronger than expected, but he also knew the Council would not listen. They demanded a decisive strike to crush humanity once and for all. A massive fleet, bigger than any before, moved toward the outer planets where human fleets and colonies were located. John Carter watched the incoming alien fleet on the main screen. The fleet was enormous, dark, and threatening. "This is it," he said quietly. "They want to end it all at once. We will survive, and we will fight back harder than ever." Lisa Morgan worked with communications, sending updates, tracking alien movements, and coordinating every human ship. "We know they are coming," she said. "We have prepared, but this will be the biggest fight yet." Ryan Brooks' squadron of fighters zipped through the asteroid field, checking weapons, engines, and shields. Every pilot knew this could be the deadliest battle of their lives. Yet fear did not stop them. Courage did. Determination did. They were humans, and they fought not for glory but for survival. Alex Turner and the engineers worked nonstop. Mining drones, defense turrets, and converted stations were ready. Every weapon, every tool, every device was programmed to defend humanity. Alex smiled grimly. "They think size and firepower win wars. We will show them thinking, courage, and teamwork can win too." Claire Evans coordinated civilian safety. Evacuation ships moved constantly, avoiding alien scans, using asteroid cover, and hiding in shadowed zones. She guided people through dangerous areas, relaying information to John and Lisa. "Every life counts," she said. "We fight for them, and that is why we cannot fail." The aliens attacked with massive energy beams and plasma bombs. Explosions rocked the outer planets, breaking stations and destroying small colonies. Human ships darted in and out of the chaos, striking weak points in alien armor, hitting supply ships, and destroying weapons platforms. The aliens had firepower, but humans had skill, strategy, and courage. Ryan Brooks led a daring strike at an alien command ship. His squadron moved at extreme speed, dodging weapons fire, weaving through asteroid debris. Missiles struck the ship's engines, lasers cut through the shields, and drones exploded near weak points. The alien ship was damaged and forced to retreat. The humans cheered over the comms. "We keep fighting," Ryan said. "We do not stop. We do not surrender." On the alien flagship, Commander Zarun watched the human tactics in disbelief. They were learning, adapting, and striking with intelligence. Humans did not fight like other species. They were organized, clever, and united. The Council still demanded total conquest, ignoring Zarun's warnings. He knew this strike could fail if the humans continued like this. John Carter coordinated attacks across multiple fronts. "We divide them, we confuse them, we strike where they are weakest," he said. "Every ship, every person, every tool matters. Humans survive because we act together and we never give up." Emily Wright monitored alien communications and relayed intelligence. "They cannot keep up," she said. "Every plan they make is countered. They are panicking. Their large fleet is breaking into smaller, isolated groups. If we act smart, we can trap them completely." Humans used every advantage. Asteroid fields, gravity wells, and abandoned stations became traps. Drones, missiles, and lasers struck in precise timing. Even damaged ships fought, using clever maneuvers to survive and continue the battle. Humans turned every disadvantage into an advantage, every small ship into a tool of war, and every civilian into a reason to keep fighting. Ryan Brooks' squadron intercepted an alien supply line. Without it, the alien fleet struggled to repair and refuel. The squadron flew fast and precise, hitting vulnerable points. Explosions lit up the void, leaving the aliens shocked. Commander Zarun recorded the events. Humans were not just surviving. They were winning battles in ways he had never seen before. John Carter led a risky maneuver, moving a fleet through a gravity well near a massive asteroid belt. The aliens pursued, unaware of the danger. The human fleet used the gravity to hide, strike, and retreat, hitting the alien ships where they were weakest. Explosions spread across the battlefield as alien ships were destroyed one by one. Claire Evans guided more civilians through safe paths. "Stay calm, stay focused," she said. "We are part of this fight. Every life we save gives humans strength. We fight for each other." Alex Turner and engineers worked non-stop to repair damaged ships. Even the smallest vessels returned to battle quickly. Humans did not let fear stop them. Every attack taught them something new, and every victory built morale. The aliens were large and powerful, but humans had courage, skill, and unity. Emily Wright intercepted alien plans, predicting their next moves. She gave instructions to human ships, guiding them to weak points and traps. Humans struck quickly and retreated before the aliens could react. The alien fleet could not coordinate. Confusion spread, fear grew, and Commander Zaroon knew the humans were stronger than expected. The aliens launched a desperate strike at a human colony on Titan. They expected surrender. Instead, John Carter ordered a counterattack. Small human ships attacked from hidden positions, missiles struck key weapons, and drones exploded in critical areas. The colony's defenses held, and the aliens were forced to retreat. Human courage and intelligence had turned the tide again. Ryan Brooks and his squadron intercepted an alien flagship trying to flee. They moved with precision, dodging massive beams, hitting engines, and cutting shields. The ship exploded, leaving the remaining aliens in panic. Commander Zaroon realized the Council had underestimated humans. They were dangerous, not just because of weapons, but because of courage, unity, and intelligence. John Carter and Lisa Morgan coordinated across the entire human fleet. "Every ship, every pilot, every civilian matters," John said. "We survive because we work together, because we never give up, and because we fight for each other." Claire Evans guided the last group of civilians to safety. She stayed calm even as explosions shook the nearby stations. "We protect them," she said. "Their lives give us reason to fight, and that reason makes humans unstoppable." On the alien flagship, Zaroon faced humans directly for the first time. He realized they were unlike any other species. Humans did not fight for conquest or fear. They fought for survival, for each other, and for home. Their courage was unmatched, and their unity made them unstoppable. He warned the Council one last time, but they ignored him, insisting the strike would win. Humans had turned the battle completely. The alien fleet was broken, confused, and retreating. Ships were destroyed, supply lines cut, and morale shattered. Humans had shown that determination, intelligence, and unity could defeat even the strongest enemy. John Carter looked at the stars, exhausted but proud. "We fought, we survived, and we learned," he said. "We did not win by numbers or weapons. We won because we never gave up, we adapted, and we fought together." Emily Wright monitored alien communications. "They fear us now," she said. "Their plans are failing. They underestimated humans, and now they are paying the price." Ryan Brooks and his squadron flew over the battlefield one last time. The destruction of alien ships left the humans victorious in this engagement. Yet everyone knew the war was not over. The aliens would return, stronger, angrier, and desperate. Humans would be ready. Claire Evans guided the final groups of civilians to safe zones. "We fight for them, and that gives us strength," she said. "Every life matters, every action matters. That is why humans survive." Alex Turner and his engineers worked on repairing ships, preparing for the next attack. "We learned a lot today," he said. "Next time, we will be even smarter, faster, and stronger." John Carter and Lisa Morgan looked at the fleet. They were tired, but determination burned in their eyes. "Humans fight for home, for family, for survival," John said, "and that makes us dangerous." Commander Zaroon watched silently. He had underestimated humans for the last time. Their courage, skill, and unity had turned the largest strike in history into a disaster for the aliens. Humans were not just survivors. They were a force unlike anything the galaxy had ever faced. The Council would learn too late that attack humans at your own risk was not just a warning, it was truth. As the human fleet regrouped, repairs were made, and civilians were safe, the message was clear across the stars. Humans were strong, not in size or firepower, but in heart, mind, and unity. The galaxy would remember this day, and every alien commander would think twice before attacking humanity again. The war was not yet over, but the humans had shown the galaxy that they were not to be underestimated. The alien fleets were scattered, their command structure damaged, and their pride shattered. Commander Zaroon watched the report silently, knowing the Council's arrogance had almost cost them everything. Humans were clever, united, and relentless. They were not a species that could be crushed by force alone. John Carter and Lisa Morgan gathered in the main command room on one of Earth's orbiting stations. The fleet was regrouping after the last major strike. Ships were repaired, civilians were safe, and preparations were underway for the future. "We won this battle," John said quietly. "But we cannot stop now. The aliens will come back, maybe stronger. We need to be ready." Lisa nodded. "We have the advantage now. We know how they fight, we know their weaknesses, and we know our strength." Ryan Brooks and his squadron trained tirelessly. Each pilot had seen death close and had survived. They knew the aliens would not forget, but humans had proven that courage, skill, and strategy could turn the tide. Every pilot was ready to fight again, not for glory, but for home and for each other. Alex Turner and the engineers continued their work. Mining drones, stations, and small ships were improved. Every tool, every device, and every piece of equipment was ready for the next attack. Humans had learned from every battle, adapted to every challenge, and prepared for anything the aliens could throw at them. Claire Evans coordinated civilian safety with precision. Evacuation routes, hidden shelters, and safe zones were expanded. She knew that every life saved was a reason to keep fighting. The humans had survived not just through strength, but through care, unity, and determination. Commander Zaroon finally decided to speak to the Alien Council one last time. "Humans are not weak," he said. "They are clever, united, and relentless. They fight for each other and for survival. They learn from every attack. Underestimate them and we will lose everything. Attack humans at your own risk." The Council ignored him at first, as usual, but the losses were too great to deny. Alien leaders began to see the truth. The humans were not just survivors. They were warriors, thinkers, and united in ways no other species had ever been. The Council realized too late that arrogance had blinded them. On Earth, John Carter led a council of human leaders, military officers, and engineers. "The aliens may return," he said, "but we have learned something important. We fight together and we survive together. That is why we are strong. That is why the galaxy will respect humans from now on." Lisa Morgan monitored alien communications. She found that even scattered fleets were hesitant to attack. Word of humans' courage and cleverness had spread. Alien commanders were afraid of making mistakes, afraid of underestimating humans again. The warning had become real across the stars. Attack humans at your own risk. Ryan Brooks flew over the battlefield, now quiet after the last engagements. He watched the stars, thinking of friends lost and victories earned. "We are small," he said quietly, "but together we are unstoppable. We fight for home, for family, and for each other. That makes humans dangerous." Alex Turner checked weapons, systems, and drones one last time. "We survived because we adapted," he said. "We survived because we thought, learned, and worked together. Humans are not just fighters. We are survivors, and that is why no one can defeat us easily." Claire Evans guided the last group of civilians from a colony near Jupiter. "Every life we save is a victory," she said. "We fight for them, and that gives us strength. Humans survive because we care, because we work together, and because we never give up." Commander Zaroon looked at human fleets from afar. He knew that the humans had not just defended, they had won respect across the galaxy. They were clever, brave, and united. They fought not for conquest but for survival and each other. He had warned the Council too many times, and now the truth was undeniable. Humans were a species to be respected, feared, and never underestimated. John Carter looked at his fleet, repaired ships, trained pilots, and safe civilians. He felt pride but also responsibility. "We fight not because we want war, but because we must protect life," he said. "We fight because every person matters. Humans survive because we are united, because we care, and because we never stop." Lisa Morgan smiled at the screens, watching alien movements. "They know now," she said. "Humans are not easy to destroy. We fight with heart, mind, and courage. They will remember this." Emily Wright intercepted alien reports. The aliens were scared, hesitant, and reorganizing. Humans had proven that intelligence, strategy, and unity could overcome even the largest force. Every alien commander would think twice before attacking again. Humans had made their mark across the stars. Ryan Brooks prepared for the next flight, even though the battle was over. He trained new pilots, shared tactics, and studied alien movements. "We never stop," he said. "We fight, we adapt, and we survive. Humans are dangerous because we refuse to be broken." Alex Turner and his engineers continued improving defenses, building better drones, and upgrading ships. "We learn from every fight," he said. "We adapt, and we survive. That is why humans win not just with weapons, but with mind, courage, and unity." Claire Evans guided families, engineers, and workers to safe areas. "Every life saved gives humans strength," she said. "We fight for them, and that is why no enemy can defeat us easily." John Carter looked out at the stars one last time. "Humans are small compared to the galaxy," he said. "But together we are unstoppable. We fight for home, for each other, and for life. That is why attack humans at your own risk is not just a warning, it is truth." Commander Zaroon reported to the Council one final time. His words were clear. "Humans are unlike any species we have faced. They are clever, brave, and united. They fight not for conquest but for survival. We underestimated them and it cost us. Attack humans again and the consequences will be terrible." The Alien Council, finally recognizing the truth, agreed to retreat and negotiate. Humans were not interested in conquest. They offered terms, borders, and peace, but with one clear warning: humanity would defend itself at any cost. The galaxy understood that humans were not weak, not easily broken, and not to be underestimated. John Carter, Lisa Morgan, Ryan Brooks, Alex Turner, and Claire Evans watched as the last alien fleets retreated. The battle was over, and humanity had survived, stronger, smarter, and united. Every action, every life, every strategy had mattered. Humans had won not just with firepower, but with courage, intelligence, and unity. Emily Wright smiled at the calm screens. "The galaxy will remember this," she said. "Humans are dangerous, not because we want war, but because we will fight to survive, and we fight for each other." John Carter nodded. "We fight for life, for home, and for unity. That is why we are humans, and that is why we survive." The warning is true. Attack humans at your own risk. Commander Zaroon watched silently as the humans prepared for the future. They had survived impossible odds, adapted to every attack, and turned every disadvantage into an advantage. They were clever, brave, and united. Humans had not just defended. They had proven that courage, intelligence, and unity could change the course of the galaxy. The humans rested, repaired, and prepared for the next challenges. They did not seek war, but they were ready for it. Every ship, every pilot, every civilian was a part of the human strength. Every action mattered. Every life mattered. And together, humans had become a force unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen. John Carter looked at the stars one last time and smiled. "Humans survive," he said. "We fight, we adapt, we protect, and we never give up. And that is why attack humans at your own risk is not just a warning, it is truth. The galaxy would remember this day, the courage of humanity, and the lesson that no species should underestimate humans. The aliens had learned too late that humans were not weak, not slow, and not afraid. Humans were strong in ways no enemy could destroy, in mind, in heart, and in unity. The stars were quiet now, but humanity's message echoed across them. Fight humans at your own risk. They were survivors, warriors, and protectors of life, and the galaxy would never forget it.